clap, Stretch. Give him a clap. Right, have you done this before?
No.
No?
So I opened the door and I had a t-shirt and my underpants. Right, boy, do you know how to address the Queen? No, sir! And it was like a scene from Notting Hill, the movie. The Queen was there and I kind of panicked. And I went, how are you? After a few glasses of wine, I decided to climb on it. I broke the top and I fell on my back. That means when you're retired, you're out. Hip, 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 hip,
The end of an era,
Yes.
or nearly the end of an era, not quite a full stop.
No, I mean, listen, I announced it last year in December I was going to stop, but, when you think about you're going to stop, you're going to say your last goodbyes, the ride's going to fiddle out, and, eventually we come to the end, say bye-bye to everyone and walk out of the back door and thank you very much. But it's not been the case because went to America, did amazingly well. I was second in the standing one stage. And then I came back, I won the Guineas, as you know, the Oaks, Gold Cup, Royal Ascot, and it just kept on going, kept on winning. And I got to York and I thought things are going so well, like it's very hard to say I'm going to stop. And so then my mind started, I had the angel and the devil, and then eventually I talked to my parents, I took to Catherine, my wife, and, basically I have to be happy with myself. And I thought, well, you know what, I'm not ready to stop. But, I gave my word to everyone I would stop in Europe. I already said 3/4 of my goodbyes to everyone. So I thought, well, if I do want to ride, well, I really had a real good time last year. It was in California.
A driving finish in the wishing well. Outside Big Summer and Freedom Flyer. Freedom Flyer fought them all off. And what a day for Frankie Dettori, who's putting on a show. That's his 4th winner of the day.
I've been there, obviously, I served my time there as a kid. The weather's nice. It just gave me an opportunity to ride a little bit more because I need to get it out of my system, right? It would have been much easier if I didn't ride any winners and I wasn't getting the rides. But, I probably had one of my best years since 2019. And so that's the decision about that. And then other component of my decision was when my kids all left, so that makes life easier for us to move because we don't have to do the school run and stuff. And then I applied for a visa and they said yes. And so it made my decision easier to say, well, yeah, come on, we can do a little bit more in California. And like I said, then one day I wake up and say, right, enough is enough. But at the moment, I'm not ready to stop.
Just putting a bit more meat on the bone like that. It's like a footballer going away to abroad for the back end of their career, something like that.
It's like Harry Kane, right? He left Tottenham, he's gone to Bayern Munich, he's still scoring goals, right? He's not ready to stop. I guess like David Beckham when he went to Los Angeles. But again, I mean, if it would have, when I started this, right, I didn't expect to have the support and the success that I've had. Otherwise, it would have been much easier for me to say, right, that's it. So, because circumstances that I couldn't control, I came to this decision that, you know what, I don't feel ready for it.
Okay, so go back to before York.
Yep.
How did the void of not racing or not riding look?
From the beginning of the season, I mean, I was thinking, yeah, this is my last year, and I was just going along with it and with my last goodbyes in every track, and like I said, but then things stood out of proportion, and like I said, I got to a position, and I got to York, and obviously I won the Ebor and the John Mont, and I thought, wow, I've only got 8 weeks left, and I'm retiring, and I'm thinking, really? I'm not ready for it, and so, but then a lot of process, the organization, and anyway, eventually I said it this week that I'm not ready for it, and I'm going to carry on. If you stop and you haven't got your peace of mind, then you're gonna regret it.
And you've been a massive people pleaser all your life. You've spent all that time doing that for your work, for your commitment for racing. There are some people criticising the decision. I don't know how they've come to that. What are you going to say to them?
But like I said, at the end of the day, I have to be happy with myself. My dad was a jockey, and he told me, he says, listen, you've got to accept it to yourself. One day, when you think is right, and at the moment, I got to the point where I thought it was going to be right, but it's not. I have to get, I have to be happy with myself when I stop. And at the moment, I feel like I got a lot more to give. And then also, if I thought about it, if I do another year in England or 2 years in England, what am I achieving? I've won everything. It's just repetition. It's not really making me tick, give me a challenge, right? So that's why I thought that the US, I'm taking them on in their own backyard. So that's a stimulation. It's something new. I want to try to find those for the Kentucky Derby as well, something new again. So it will give me those spark to just, that I need, right?
38 years over here.
Yeah.
What was it like when you first came to Newmarket?
What was it like? Because I got olive skin, right? But I was a little bit bullied. But all the guys who did that, they became my best friends. But nowadays, I mean, is United Nations in Newmarket. You got it from all over the world. But back in the day, I mean, I was one of the odd ones out. But so it was difficult, but lots of fun because, when you're young, you haven't got a care in the world. You know what I mean? And it was fun. Things have changed a lot, but I've got good memories then.
And when you think back, do you look back at it with rose-tinted glasses, the time at Lucas as a kid and everything coming through?
Yeah, I did because we were kids. There was a lot of kids around of my age. We used to have good laughs and banter. It was safe. Everybody knew each other. We were like a big community.
What did everybody think of you driving around in that souped-up Mercedes we had?
with the black tinted windows, with the spoilers.
The spoiler went to the floor. It couldn't go over a tiny curb.
Big massive stereo. Oh God, yeah, that was an embarrassing period of my life.
No, it wasn't. It was
sitting like that.
Yeah. It was part of the process.
Yeah. Part of growing up and being silly.
The nickname Stretch came from
Steve the Boot, because he explained the story because. Back in the day, he was the only one who used to make the leather boots, right? So if he didn't fit one person, he went on to the other person, see if he fit him, right? So what did he say, Jason?
Well, we were sat there, and you put yours on. You said, well, Steve, they're a bit big. He said, don't worry, it doesn't stretch. And I put mine on, and it was a bit tight. And he said, don't worry, it will stretch.
Good leather. It's good leather, it stretch.
So he was. I think we bought them anyway.
Yeah,
I could support you.
It was like that.
The riding style
Yeah.
that you have adopted,
Yeah.
which is going to be so useful out in America as well, it was sort of taken from Cawthon with Luca's idea about it as well.
Well, I started in Italy, right? So, I tried to copy the Italian jockeys, obviously my dad. And then I came to England. Pat, Edgar and Steve were back in the day with the leading jockeys. And then my style really changed when I went to America for those 4 winters because I didn't want to look the odd one out riding work. So I was trying to, crouch myself behind the horse, so I blended in. So people didn't say, oh, look at the state of the English jack. I was Italian anyway. And so that's how, actually, I'm quite lucky. I got short legs, long arms, so I'm designed to be a jockey, actually. So thanks to my parents. Everybody's physicality is different. So I had to try to find my own posture on the horse, what I was comfortable. And, I mixed a lot of styles until I found one what suited me. And 36 years later, I think I nailed it.
Absolutely. Ferrari. Did you ever think about taking a bit from one rider and something else?
100%, I did that without even knowing, but just watching them. Then you will copy them. When you're in a tender age of 16, 17, 18, this is where you pick up things without realizing. And that's where my basic style started. And then obviously I refined it and changed it a little bit. And, but it's what fits you. Obviously, I can never emulate Lester Pigott because he was taller, skinnier, but then you got to pick up little things from other people. But it's all about experimenting and trying and what suits you and what you feel comfortable. And when I speak to young jockeys, I say, listen, you have to find your own style. I can give you the basics, but I can't tell you what's comfortable for you.
Because of the body shape?
Yeah, exactly. And then also what makes you feel comfortable, right?
And so go back again, the weighing room, when you had Lester and you were annoying him, and Pat and Willie and Ray and Bruce and Steve and what a bunch of riders. What was it like then compared to now?
I was, obviously back in the day, you went to the big boys and asked them for advice, now you'd be very hard pressed that you get a young kid to come and ask me for something because they know it all, right? So it was completely different. They had more respect for the old boys. And, but also they had a lot of banter. You know, in between racing, we used to play cards. We used to joke a lot, and you know, things was not as active as now. I mean, now it's racing all the time. Back in the day, they had the evening meeting 3 times a week. It was a lot more relaxed. We stayed overnight wherever. It was a good camaraderie. I'm not saying it's bad now, but it's not as fun now because I guess with the workload that jockeys have these days, the traveling, jockeys are more training more hard, they're more serious. So yeah, completely different. But it was a good time then. And I guess, you know, social media, mobiles, that's ruined everything. You know, back in the day, you know, if you wanted to contact one, you went to the telephone box. You know, now with mobiles and it's just ruined a lot of things.
So you're talking about you're at Newmarket back end.
Yeah.
You're in the first, and you might have a couple of races
Yeah.
off, and the cards come out for Shoot Pontoon.
I remember Leicester, for some reason, Leicester on a Monday when they had all those maidens, it was like 8 races, Division A, Pass 6, I mean, and basically the doorman used to shout at us because, you know, we used to play cards and come on, one last more round. And they're like, jockeys, are you ready? 5 minutes late, come on now, no, one more. And we delayed the race, you know, I mean, it was banter, it was fun, and it was crazy, and yeah, that's, you know, all of that. I really missed it, you know.
That pot got big in the
pot,
middle.
oh, yes.
Right, you got dealt an ace.
Oh,
you
yeah,
had to shoot the pot.
We were playing thousands. I mean, you know, we didn't mess around. You know. I mean, if you didn't go racing with £1,000 in your pocket, you weren't playing. Even Leicester used to have the old shoot.
Yeah. No one paid.
Yeah, they never paid. So it was lots. You know, it was different. It was fun. I guess if I take the cards out, they wouldn't know how to play.
Yeah, yeah, they would not. Yeah,
they would not a clue. All these jockeys had different things that made them different to others, and they were very effective and probably possible to copy.
all over the globe.
Yeah.
Who's the best you rode against?
That's very hard. I mean, I started with a positive Coulthard here, and then Keenan came along, and then I had Kieran Fallon, Ryan Moore. So, I mean, I've had many rivalry throughout my career. This I'm talking about the English ones, and obviously in France you got Christophe, I had Olivier in the past, and in America the Jerry Baileys, Gary Stevens. So, I mean, they've been great jockeys throughout my career, but in different eras, right? And you know, it's very hard to say which one was the best, because in every given day anyone could be as good as anyone. They all had the different feelings, but very effective.
Was it a confidence thing? Was it a talent thing? Was it a what? I'm just trying to
I
put
mean, I mean, it's like the styles. I remember, you know, Pat. You know, and you couldn't copy Pat. You didn't know if he bumped the saddle, he just caressed the saddle, and he threw the reins are in without, you know, and it just also just kept on running. Or sometimes you be behind Kieran Fallon, and you would think, you know, he's definitely pushing and he's got nothing left, and you will give him away and he'll keep going, you know. But many times you would do that because it'd be very hard to read, you know. And then people like Steve Coulthard, they will just never move, and you know, even Leicester, I mean, never used to sit motionless. He had nothing left, but the horses would run flat out without him moving, you know. All these jockeys had different things that made them different to others, and they were very effective and probably impossible to copy, right?
Yeah.
But you know, but I was, you know, I've been privileged enough that I experienced that, and I've raced with them, and like I said, they were all unique in their own right. So yeah, never underestimate any of those jockeys that I mentioned.
And so all of that is your ability. You know, you're sat in there. A lot of people will never have been in a group of 20 horses galloping at 40 mile an hour. And you've got to be able to read six or seven around you.
Oh, you got to, yeah, because as you know, you got to, you know, you don't get to stop behind the horse that is falling on your lap, because it's going to bring you back. So it's very important that you know the style of the jockeys, because you know you have to read their body language, you know. But that comes with riding with people all the time.
best horse? No, is that a tough one?
Well, two, I was asking the same question a while ago. I mean, my top two would be Dubai Millennium and Golden Horn. And I couldn't really split them because Golden Horn only run as a 3-year-old. Usually the best age for a horse between 4 and 5 when they are at the very peak. And, obviously Dubai Millennium would go to 4 and it was, won the World Cup and everything else. So, I wish I had Golden Horn one more year to really, then I would really know which one would have been the best. But at the moment I would put the pair equal. And obviously the third, what I loved the most was Enable. Probably maybe not as good as them two that I mentioned, but not far off. But she's the one that I love the most. She took me emotionally to places that no other horses did. So that's why, but I hope she doesn't get upset if I tell her that she's number 3.
She might forgive you if you say, what was your most satisfying victory? What was the one that meant the most to you? Was it her?
I would say winning the Derby on Golden Horn. It was probably for a single race, the biggest emotion I've had. For numerous reasons. It was after my comeback with the split with Godolphin. My kids were old enough to understand it. I was 44. I didn't think I would get another chance to win the Derby, and I did it. And I really, in that particular moment, that last furlong, I probably got the biggest joy in any race. I've had joys in thousands of races, but that one, if I had to single one out, that one.
Your most treasured victory?
Well, I would say my best ride would be Golden Horn in the Arc.
Golden Horn, though, is answering every call from Frankie, and it's Golden Horn who's going to win the Arc.
Second best, Fantastic Light and a Big Galileo. And number 3, Enable and Crystal Ocean in the King George.
Enable near side, Crystal Ocean will not give in. They go head to head, toe to toe. She's just in front of Enable, racing up towards the line, and she'll win a second King George. What a race! That was a horse race.
And then on number 4 this year, Mustadaf in the Jummont. Then number 5, I haven't done it yet.
It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Santa Anita, Kentucky.
You never know.
Frankie Dettori, 7 out of 7. It's a history maker.
The Magnificent 7,
Yes.
unreal. How have you handled the pressure of being the face of racing for such a long time?
Well, my life changed then. Of course, I was doing well at the time. I was champion jockey twice already. In my own world, racing world, I was pretty much well known, right? But then after I won the 7, I went to a different level. Doing breakfast TV. I did Top of the Pops, chat shows. I mean, completely just pushed me to another level. And my life changed since then. And basically, I'm promoting myself, but also promoting racing. You know what I mean? So to lose the opportunity, just don't do nothing about it would have been silly. So try to promote racing, trying to get people to come racing, and I'm not saying I'm the face of racing, but I'm well recognized, so why not?
Everybody thinks it's easy being in that situation and it's laugh a minute and everything else, but it cannot have been easy. It's huge pressure.
It is tiring, but it's fun, but we all have the good days or bad days, but the problem is, once you create that, it's not turning back. If you wanted to, when you become like that, you can't say next week, oh, I don't want to be known by anyone, and so you take it as it goes. You got to accept that people's going to come and say hello to you, or ask you for tips, or sometimes tell you off because you lost a bad race with a massive swear word, what I'm not going to say. So you got to take it as it goes, right? So you're not more kind of a normal person, but but I accepted it. I don't, you try to do the normal things, go to the petrol station or go to the supermarket, just, listen, it is what it is. If they want to talk to you, they talk to you. But I don't mind, but there's the other people that might find it a bit difficult. But it is what it is. You've got to take it.
When you were doing all the television and everything else like that, I always think back and I think Ali McCoist must have been the best to work with.
Well, we did 2 years of Question of Sport, myself, Ali, and Sue Barker. We must have done maybe 40 shows. and the laughs, because we used to record 3 shows back to back. 4 to 6, 6 till 8, 8 till 10. So 4 to 6 you met everyone in the green room, cup of tea, right? Then 6 till 8 you'll have a cheeky glass of wine, right? Then we got to the 8 till 10 show, you'll take your own bottle, and it took 3 hours because the sweat would come out, people started laughing, I mean, we were like naughty kids. But the banter, the laughter that we had, but Sue was like, she was like a school teacher, keep telling us off because we were giggling and being silly. But lots of laughter, met some great sportsmen, and yeah, another bit that I've done that I really enjoyed it, you know. And if it wasn't for winning them 7 races, I wouldn't have got those opportunities.
And it must have been great, those sports people, and getting them in there, enjoying it, the different, whether they were rugby or runners or whatever.
Yeah, I made that mistake, right? I went out for a few drinks with a couple of rugby players one night. Floored me.
Didn't win?
Floored me. I tried to keep up with them. Like, they were holding the pint glass and I like an egg cup. I'm like that. Yeah, it was great moments.
And he's a belter, Ali.
Ali's great, you know, and it's great because he loves racing. So, unfortunately, having him as a captain against me was very difficult to beat because not only knew everything about other sports, but he's always interested in racing as well. So, it was a very hard captain to beat.
Your knowledge, did it get better?
No, I think my ratio was 1 in 5 I won, I think. Not bad.
And did you just laugh your way through?
I did, yeah. I mean, most of my teammates got really upset because they took it so serious, but listen, it's only a game.
Yeah, bit of fun.
What can you do?
Come on, Ascot's rolling in.
Yes.
It's going to feel a touch different because everything has got the comma after it. We are not quite put the
Yeah,
dot
I'll
on.
be honest with you. You know, it is my last race in England. That was planned for a long time. I've got 40 of my family coming, boyfriend, girlfriends, children, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, they all coming. So I have to detach myself from the emotional bit for the first 5 races, well, the 5 races that I'm going to ride. Because, you know, I'm going to finish on a good note. I've got some good rides in the top 5 races. So I can't let my emotion take over. But after I pass the line in the Champions Stakes, then I'll be able to salute the crowd. I'm sure that it will hit me, you know. But now I'm being super strong and trying to detach myself to it. You know, look, it's been like that all year basically. But you know, I guess on the last day it'd be hard to, you know, to let go. But I'm trying to think that it's not a sadness, it should be a celebration. You know, I'm not dying. I know I'm going somewhere else for a bit, but, you know, so I try to make it as fun and as enjoyable as I can, but I can't tell you how I'm going to feel on the day because I don't know.
Yeah, because there's no template.
I don't know.
Yeah. What will you miss about here?
I miss the weight room or the jockey's room, as they call it, because I tell people it's a timeless time. You walk in there as you was when you were a 16-year-old kid. You never grow up. You know, I'm 52 now, and I feel like when I walk in, I'm still 16, because it's this timeless capsule that we all live, this magical place that we never get old. So I will miss that. The thought that when I walk out of there, then it'd be my last time that I'll be walking there, it'd be very sad. So if you see me crying, you know, I think, you know, I'm only human, and it'd be cry of happiness.